Individuals with Disabilities Education Act is the law, IDEA, for special education. And it is the kind of the golden rule of how we treat children in the school that have special needs. And under this law, we have to make sure that we encompass the main principles, which include non-discriminatory evaluations. So if we have students that speak a different language, then we need to evaluate them in their language that they speak. We need to make sure that we're giving more than one assessment to evaluate the same skills so that we have a comparison basis. And we need to look at where did we evaluate them. Because most of the time when we take a test, it's a one shot in the dark moment. And does that truly reflect what we know at that time? Because there are things that can play into that. Maybe they didn't sleep the night before. Maybe they haven't had a good nutritious breakfast. Maybe they're scared, or you're a new person. And so we need to take into considerations with the evaluations the rapport that's built, how comfortable the child is, what language they're speaking, what culture they are from. And so in doing that, then it leads into we have to have parent and student participation in this process. The parents have to give consent. The parents have to sign off with consent. If they don't want special ed services, then we can't force that upon them. And so we have to look at the different things that parents are considering and what they want. They have to be informed of everything that we're doing with their child that may put them into the special ed arena. And so from there we move into, we cannot reject any child from our educational system just because they may need special needs or because they may need special services. We are obligated to teach every child that comes through the school doors. And in the process, we have to look at what environment do they need to be in? What is the least restrictive environment in order for them to learn? And that is part of the law that the parents really pushed for. There is a continuum of placements where students can be placed who have special needs. And because of this continuum of placements, we can determine what kind of program will best fit for the child, not for the school, not for the teacher, not for the person who is a service provider, but what process best fits in order for this child's education to be enhanced while they're at the school. And from all of this, then, we develop an individualized educational program, which is an IEP. And within that IEP, we take into consideration all of these other things. It becomes our melting pot for the rest of the decisions that we make, and it's all placed down there. How many hours do they need special services? Do they need them in this area but not in this area? How often can they be with their peers, or how often should we look at pulling them away from their peers to teach them individual skills? And so all of this becomes this document and this process that's federally mandated, that's passed down to the states. The states create their forms, they create their processes, their steps, and it all encompasses the parents and the student, because the parents need to participate in the meetings. The student, when they're old enough or understand enough, can participate in the meetings, and they need their voices heard, so that the school's not just bullying their way into having the education look the way they want it to look, but there's a voice there from the parents and the students. And all of this is a federal process. It's guided by federal law. So at any point in this, when the parents become upset, disgruntled, don't feel like their child's needs are being met, they can ask for a mediation. And so the mediator can come in and work between the school and the parent to resolve the issue. And if that doesn't resolve there, then they go to due process, which is kind of the equivalent of the parents suing the school, taking it to a different level where they will sit before a judge, and the judge will decide who was right and who was wrong. And all of this is wrapped up in the IDEA law, in the law that encompasses and protects children with special needs.